Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Good afternoon. I would first like to congratulate my fellow class of 2023. Today, I welcome all family, friends, teachers, staff, and faculty who are joining us today to celebrate the completion of a journey. Welcome to the Charlotte Teacher Early College graduation for the class of 2023. As we continue with the ceremony, I would ask that all that are here, please silence all mobile devices so that there isn't disruption during the ceremony. Thank you. At this time, I would like to recognize our special guests for their appearance and various roles in our ceremony. Please help me welcome Ms. Lenora Sanders Ship, CMS Board Member at Large, Dr. Crystal Hill, Charlotte-Mecklenburg School Superintendent, Dr. Stephan Esposito, Northeast Learning Community Superintendent, and Dr. Candace Salmon Hosey, Chief Technology Officer. On behalf of the class of 2023, we would like to say thank you to our special guests for your presence. It is highly appreciated. Please allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Yvette Yarcia, and I am the CTEX 12th grade Salutatorian. I am honored to be standing here today in front of you as we commence on this journey together. I want to thank my entire family for their love and their support during this journey, especially my parents, Moses and Louise. I couldn't have done it without them. I love you guys. I would like to say a few words to the class of 2023. As we stand on the edge of the future, uncertain of what lies ahead, let us face it with courage and optimism. Remember, it might feel like the end, but it's just the beginning. I love you all and wish you nothing but the best in the near future. At this moment, I would like to introduce the CTEX 12th grade valedictorian, Cassidy Min. Cassidy is a very dedicated and hardworking student and plans to take her talents to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and plans to major in biology. Yeah! Cassidy plans to pursue a career in orthodontics and wants to go to dentist school. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my total honor to present to you Cassidy Min.
Thank you, Yvette. And thank you to everyone coming to celebrate such a huge and important achievement for the graduates of 2023 today. Fellow graduates, the people in this room truly care about you enough to sit through an hour-long ceremony just to see you walk the stage for 5 seconds. If that doesn't mean they love you, I don't know what does. First off, I want to thank God for blessing me with such an amazing opportunity to speak today and getting all attendees safely. My faith has kept me grounded and has helped me persevere through high school, even through times when I felt like giving up. Thank you to teachers and administrators for always being there to be a positive light for us and reassuring us during uncertain times. I specifically want to give a shout out to Mrs. Brown, as she has given me so many opportunities to explore my career path. Mrs. Brown, you are like a second mother to me, and for that I am grateful. Of course, I want to thank my family, as y'all have always been there to encourage and support me throughout my high school journey. I want to thank my brother and my mom, as y'all put up with my mistakes I made in the past and have always been there for me. I suck at expressing my feelings, but I love you all deeply and everything you've done for me, especially you, Mom. High school was definitely an experience. I honestly had little to no expectations for my high school journey, but one thing I could say is that I definitely didn't expect so many things to happen in the span of 4 years. It started from being in a basement with no windows, to staying home and staring at a screen for most of the day, to completely going back to normal in junior year. Looking back on the past 4 to 5 years, I can confidently say that the class of 2023 stepped out of their comfort zone, as we are all a product of change and renewal. Back in sophomore year, I wrote a letter to my future self that I could only read once I finished high school, and it has some basic sayings like, "I'm so proud of you, and I hope you achieved everything you wanted to achieve," but basically it was like a cringy letter to me from a sophomore. But what makes this letter so important to me is that I vividly remember the night I wrote it, as I was going through one of the lowest points of my life. To give a little bit of background about me, I tend to thrive off structure and control, and some people have seen this firsthand in Ms. Kierton's class. But being in control of my life was something that made me comfortable, as I wanted to assure myself that everything that I've received in life is because of my own actions. If you're not getting the memo already, me and uncertainty didn't get along, but what represents more uncertainty than COVID-19? During the pandemic, I went through a phase where I was not in control, which made me go through a huge identity crisis. I felt lost and discouraged about my plans before and after high school and questioned everything about myself. But even though I was going through it, I can now see from the letter I knew I still had a purpose, which at the time was finishing high school. I still had the energy to write to myself, imagining the feeling of looking back on the letter and checking off the goals that were written. Now that I'm looking back on that letter, I honestly believe that writing to myself was such a turning point in high school, as I knew the only way I could truly allow the future me to read that letter was to graduate. And so from then, I started to persevere through my struggles and was taken out of my comfort zone for a very long time. In the end, I learned some new things about myself and my new career, and I realized that finding my true passion and identity wouldn't have happened if I didn't go through this season of change. Graduates, I want you to know that we are taken out of our comfort zone and going through a season of change of uncertainty. We should keep the end goal in mind. If we weren't strong enough, then the obstacles that we encounter wouldn't have been given to us in the first place. Sure, we could sit around and wait for this season of change to end, but why drown in possibilities instead of making those possibilities your reality? We should be taken out of our comfort zone to show ourselves what we're capable of, and in the end, we'll persevere and look back on the time where we realized that the struggle wasn't as hard as we thought. Graduates, I want you to know that graduating high school shows that you persevered through this season of change. We prioritized our mental health, stuck to our goals, showed up for ourselves, and didn't let hardships discourage us from moving forward. For that, I want to say I'm so proud of y'all, and even though we are a small group, our energy throughout this journey has impacted others. With that being said, I wish you nothing but peace, love, and blessings, as I know Mrs. Kierton would say the same. Next, I want to introduce Tracy Bowie, who is the C-Tech Valedictorian for 13th grade. Tracy will be attending UNC Charlotte, where she will have a Chancellor Scholarship and will be majoring in biology. Please welcome Tracy Bowie.
Thank you, Cassidy, for your motivational words, and good afternoon, parents, teachers, faculty, and 2023 C-Tech graduates. Thank you for those who join us as we celebrate this milestone in our lives. These past few years have been quite a wild ride for all of us. Our first year was spent in the basement of the Cato College of Education building, where we switched between 2 classrooms, for all of our classes. Then, in our second year of high school, we were moved to the Sikh building, sharing the small building with the rest of the Sikh 9th and 10th graders, a smaller space that we were all not used to. It was also our first year of taking college classes in the spring semester. But then the pandemic hit. We were halfway through our college classes before we were forced into quarantine, and we never fully experienced our first semester of college classes in person. We had to learn more than navigating through college classes. We were introduced to Zoom classes where everyone hopped online with their cameras off, displaying their names in white font on a black screen, while the professor carried on with lectures with long pauses of silence after they asked if anyone had questions. We thought this would go on for a week, but it ended up being a whole year of online classes. Sitting there in silence at the black screens felt like a waste of time, and it was overall not an engaging classroom experience. This was nowhere near what we expected when we first joined CTEC, and I was beginning to miss engaging in assignments with other classmates, getting a chance to socialize during lunch, and watching the shenanigans go down in class. I didn't want to only interact with my family, the people that I live with 24/7, not that I don't love them. But at that point, I just wanted things to go back to normal. I was shocked to see that there were so many things that I missed before the pandemic hit. But thankfully, after we took our junior year online, we learned to navigate through our college classes and adapted to these unusual circumstances. We managed to go mostly back in person by our senior year, but it was still slightly intimidating considering we were a group of younger students surrounded by adult college students in our classes. But you learn to blend in and try not to stick out. And as the years go by, college classes were just classes with students. You stop distinguishing yourself as an early college student, but just as a student, which is what I never noticed until reflecting on where we first started. And it's an incredible feat that we've done to adjust ourselves to a constantly changing environment. Our first day was dead silent in the classrooms. No one dared to speak. No one knew each other, and it was like the first day in an unfamiliar setting. But week after week, we all got to know each other since we would all be stuck in the basement anyways. We were beginning to get comfortable talking to each other, often asking for help on assignments, saying hi to each other in the mornings. Even in the years where we only shared one high school class, like our senior year, was the class where I felt like I most belonged. There was that one time in English 4 in Mr. Czar's class when we had a poetry tournament, and we had to analyze a selected poem and then perform said poem. And one of the most memorable rounds was when we had to do a rap battle, and we had to trash talk our opponent's chosen poet. And unfortunately, I was participating in that rap battle, and this was way out of my comfort zone. Not only that, but it just so happens that Mrs. Luce and Mrs. McDaniels were watching as guest audience members, and that was terrifying. I would have died of embarrassment if I had to do this in front of strangers. But it was just my classmates there, and so I want to thank all of you for being supportive despite my lack of confidence, as well as the 2 surprise guest audience members for watching too. But by the end of that whole rap tournament, we all know that Jackson went hard with his rap. I mean, he had a whole backing track and everything. Like, watching it all go down was terrifying. But nevertheless, it shows how much we've grown closer to one another. We've gone through our journeys of breaking through our shells over the years, some faster than others. And it was through the various group projects and presentations we were assigned. I remember that in English 1, we had a lot of presentation assignments, from presenting personal instructional speech to reciting the Romeo-Juliet prologue with bonus points for having a theatrical performance, to even creating podcasts to share with the class. And that was only the first year. But as the years went on, similar assignments were assigned to us, and we were pretty much presentation pros at this. Even though I didn't like these assignments, they taught me many more lessons. It prepared us in the long run for the upcoming collaborative projects that we would have among other students in future college classes. With that being said, I do have a few people I want to acknowledge for having an impact on my high school experience. To Eden, a strong young leader since the beginning of the school year. We haven't run into each other much, but whenever we meet, she's always greeting me with a smile. She's demonstrated outstanding leadership qualities and is never afraid to reach out for questions and concerns. She honestly inspires me to improve myself. To a certain duo, Ethan and Jackson, for somehow making school life a lot more interesting than it is. These two always find ways to make the day slightly more interesting. Outside of classes, they love pulling jokes on others or joining in on mischief. And even during classes, they'll find a way to get a laugh out of the class whenever the teachers call on them. To Sui, for always giving me a snack to eat whenever she had the chance, especially during senior year when college classes only got worse for me. I didn't eat much during the school year as I was constantly focused on my college classes, but she always would give me a small treat. Sometimes I don't even know what I did to make her want to give me one, but she made sure I didn't go through the day on an empty stomach. And to the rest of the students that I haven't mentioned, the staff, teachers, whether you realized it or not, you shaped me for who I am today and for what I can accomplish. We've shaped each other, and it is now our day to celebrate. So I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I also want to go ahead and give one more personal shout out to my family. To my sisters, parents, and my cousin for being there for me at excruciating low times. I was lucky to have my family be with me every step of the way in my high school life, even though I was hesitant about my parents enrolling me in an early college teacher program. Quarantine had such a negative toll on my mental health, and I was beginning to walk a dark path. I wasn't happy with my accomplishments, I questioned my worth, and any small mistake I made, I would blow up in anger. And I don't even know how my family managed to stick with me until the end, but I would be nowhere here without them. And even though I sometimes get in fights with my family, they've done so much for me, and I hope that I can give back to them someday. As our high school life ends, I want you all to remember the relationships we developed over the years. We've grown so much, and since freshman year in our learning experience in CTech, they taught us how to adapt to environments that we're unfamiliar with and that adjusting to changes is necessary for success. We were taught the importance of relationships among peers and instructors, not only for academic support, but for emotional support too. We will all take the next step in our life, and that will look different for everyone. The pace that we take our next steps will also be different. But we were able to handle the obstacles that CTech prepared us for, so all we have to do is make that next move ourselves. I hope you all continue your journeys with pride, success, and the lessons we've learned. Thank you again, 2023 graduates, and congratulations. And now I have the pleasure of introducing the next speaker, Mr. Bailey. He's gained his bachelor's degree in elementary education and master's degree in academic advising, not only being one of our first professors at UNC Charlotte, but also serving as our guide as we choose our next college courses. He has been an academic advisor since 2014, with 2 years at Barton Community College in Kansas and ongoing with UNC Charlotte in 2016. He's shown his continuous support for every one of us CTech students and helped us with the ropes of our first college classes, advising all of us in taking the next big steps in our higher education. With great appreciation, I introduce you all to Mr. Kevin Bailey.
Hey guys, it's an honor to get a chance to even speak to you guys today. It's been quite a ride, hasn't it? It's an honor to get to speak to this wonderful group of young people. I wrote all this down because otherwise Mr. Luce would be playing me off the stage with the Oscars music, so I thought, I'd better write down what I had to say, or I'd get emotional and just talk for like 45 minutes or something and get us all in trouble. So it's an honor to speak to this wonderful group of young people who have overcome so much adversity to be here on this day. I tell anyone who will ever listen to me how special my CTech students are, and this group absolutely epitomizes that. From that morning in March 2020, when at the end of class I said to you, there's this thing called coronavirus, and we're going off campus for at least 2 weeks, probably not more than a month though. A prophet I am not. To this day, over 3 years later, you have arrived at one of the big milestones of life. To borrow a phrase from the poet William Wordsworth, some arrive at this milestone trailing clouds of glory, academic accolades, good grades, scholarship offers, all sorts of awards. You make me proud to have played even a slip of a role in your academic adventures. Others arrive here a bit more battered and bruised, dusty from the race, diving for the finish line, glad to finally be done. You also make me proud to have helped you in some small way overcome your difficulties as you fought so hard to make it to this moment. The question always asked on days like today, well, there are things like, what's next? What now? What are your plans for the future? Anybody ever heard those questions before? Some of you already know the answer to those questions, and that's great. Go get those dreams. But it's okay not to know, not to be sure, or to think you were sure and then change your mind. This is a time in your life of endless possibilities. Explore those possibilities. See if they work for you. If they don't, try something new. Try things you've never done. Read great books, particularly the books being banned. Be kind to both yourself and others, to everyone, but particularly to the vulnerable people that we see being targeted so often. Stand up for what you believe. Raise your voice. Don't be silent. Be willing to admit when you're wrong and to learn from your mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, make them. Make them often. Because unless you're willing to make mistakes, you'll never try the hard things. And trying hard things is where you're going to find your meaning, who you are at your core. Trying hard things is where you'll find the things you care about the most, the things you're willing to get in the good trouble we talked about back when I met you all 3 years ago. But here's the thing. Right now, the best advice I can give to you is take a deep breath. Relax. Enjoy this moment. Live in this moment. Just rest for a bit. I really like the way that author Anne Lamott expressed this sentiment in a graduation. What in the world? I don't think whatever that is didn't want me to tell you what Anne Lamott had to say about relaxing. Wow. Here's what she had to say. It was a speech she gave, a similar situation, but at Cal Berkeley for graduation several years back. She said, "Be where your butts are and breathe. Rest, but pay attention. Refuse to cooperate with anyone who tries to steal your freedom and civil liberties and then smirks about it." As I wrap up this final official talk with this group of young people whom I admire so much, let me say this. So often we see ourselves through the world's eyes, or through the eyes of our family or our friends, and we become our own harshest critic, judging ourselves not by what we really are at our core, but instead by the success we perceive others of having, and our lack of that success, or our perceived lack of it. We judge ourselves by the masks the world demands that we wear. Son, employee, daughter, student, friend, lover, so many masks. But you are not those masks. You are more than that. You are spirit. You are light. You are love. I know that sounds super hippie, but what can I say? It's what I believe. I'm kind of an old hippie at heart. So the most important thing you can do over the next months and years of your life is this. Find the things that feed your spirit. Find people and places who make your soul sing. Leave behind people and places who darken your soul. Love a lot, laugh a lot, take time to rest, and if you do these things, in the end, I think you're going to find that you've made the world a little bit better place for you having lived in it. I'm proud of all of you. Now go. Go and find the things that make your soul sing. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, faculty members, and my fellow graduates. It is with great honor and humility I stand before you today to deliver the Salutatorian speech. Today is a day of reflection and celebration of the last 5 years we've spent together. I'd like to first extend my gratitude to all my teachers and mentors who have guided me through our academic journey here in CTech. Your dedication and passion for education have shaped us into the people we are today. You have taught us more than we could ever imagine, and I speak for all of us. We are forever grateful for all that you did these past few years. To my mom and dad, thank you for your love, support, and sacrifice. Thank you for believing in me, pushing me beyond my limits, and motivating me to strive for excellence. You are the reason I stand on this stage today. And to my classmates, the people who have shared this incredible journey with me, I can remember the feeling of walking into the small classroom in the basement of the Cato building as a nervous freshman, uncertain of what was ahead. Through the years, we've grown together, learned together, and overcome challenges together. We've created lifelong bonds that will last a lifetime. As a graduating senior, the question I get asked the most are, what do your plans look like? Are you going to finish college? What do you want to do after school? And the hard reality is that while some of us can give distinct answers, others may not. If you were to ask me this question 5 years ago when I first walked through the doors of CTech, I'd be able to answer you right away. I would have said something about getting my elementary education degree at UNC Charlotte, the same school my mom graduated from. I'd go on to talk about how excited I am to become a teacher and finally have my classroom. I'd tell you that I already know how I was going to set up my room and even come up with a theme. I'd be bubbly and excited and passionate. If you were to ask me the same questions today, I wouldn't know how to answer you. I know I want to finish my education. I know I want a good career after school. But I know that I'm terrified. I'm terrified of the first time I won't be able to pay my rent because of my unbelievable salary. I'm terrified of having to balance 2 or 3 jobs at a time just to have enough money to buy groceries for a week and a couple of notebooks for the students that can't afford them. I'm terrified of the first time I will have to hold my students' hands in a dark classroom, listening to the footsteps of a shooter who's getting closer and closer to the door. I'm terrified of having to barricade the door to my room while my students hold scissors, pencils, and textbooks, ready for the moment when my grip gives out and the shooter busts through the doors. I am terrified of having to call my students' parents and have to tell them that this morning, when they dressed their child for school, was the last time they would see them in this world. I am terrified of what this world has come to. How has something that was once my passion turned into my biggest fear? If you were to ask me the same questions today, I would simply answer, I'm not so sure yet. My parents always taught me to face my fears. My church always taught me to give my fears to the Lord. My mentors always pushed me to be bold and courageous, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter my classroom with confidence despite the lack of support. I'm going to teach my students to the best of my ability despite the lack of resources. I'm going to go home every day knowing that I've done my best to protect and nurture my students. I guess what I'm trying to say is that as we sit through this graduation ceremony, there's a rush of emotions. Maybe excitement, maybe relief, and probably fear. Let us remember that we are strong, we are capable, and we are determined. Now, it is with great pride and pleasure I get to present to you our next speaker. They're a remarkable leader, a visionary educator, and an esteemed principal. A person that provided endless opportunities, support, and encouragement to his students. A person that brings a wealth of experience to CTech, a passion for education, and an unwavering commitment to our community. Let us join hands and extend our warmest welcome to the podium, Principal Will Leach.
I think I'll just can my speech and put that away after that one. That was going to be hard to top. So, good evening and welcome to Commencement 2023 for the Charlotte Teacher Early College High School. What a great day in our history of our early college programs. I'm so happy we can all be here on this campus together. Before I begin, I would like to recognize several special members of the class of 2023 and many other important guests. As a reminder, we have 2 groups of students graduating tonight. One group has been with us for 5 full years. Another smaller group has been with us for 4 years. I would like to thank and congratulate our grade 13 salutatorian, Fiona Ganchenko, for her academic achievements. Fiona has earned 63 hours of UNC Charlotte credit and plans to attend UNC Charlotte in the fall and we're going to support her all the way as she majors in elementary education. So thank you. Congratulations. I would like to thank and congratulate our grade 12 salutatorian, Yvette Yasaria, for her academic achievements. Yvette has earned 44 hours of UNC Charlotte credit in just 4 short years. She plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill in the fall. I would also like to thank and congratulate our grade 13 valedictorian, Tracy Bowie, for her academic achievements. Tracy has earned close to 80 hours of UNC Charlotte credit and plans to stay here at UNC Charlotte and get a degree in biology. Thank you. Come on up, Tracy. And finally, our grade 12 valedictorian, Cassidy Min, for her academic achievements. Cassidy has earned 53 hours of UNC Charlotte credit in just 4 short years. Cassidy plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill in the fall. I would also like to thank our amazing faculty and staff of both early college programs. I've had the honor and privilege of hiring all of these folks, and I would put this staff up against anybody in CMS and across the nation. Our current staff or any former staff member, please stand to be recognized. Please join me in thanking our school board and our superintendent for supporting and investing in our early college program. I would personally like to welcome and congratulate our new superintendent, Dr. Crystal Hill. We look forward to partnering with you. Our partners at UNC Charlotte have played a critical piece in this journey. A special thank you to our former Chancellor, Dr. Phil Dubois, our current Chancellor, Dr. Sharon Gaber, for their vision, support, and commitment. I would also like to thank our Cato College of Education staff, former Dean Ellen McIntyre, and current Dean Malcolm Butler for their support. I would also personally like to thank our Learning Community Superintendent, Dr. Steve Esposito, and the Northeast Learning Community for their support. Planning and executing a commencement ceremony is not easy. I would like to thank Erica Turner and Steve Robinson from CMS and Ann Holt from UNC Charlotte for all their help and support over the past year. I would also like to thank Lisa Mangum and our CMS Law Enforcement and Security for their support. CTEC is very fortunate to have a school counselor that is committed to our students. She has put in a countless number of hours supporting our graduates and preparing for events. Thank you, Teresa Oates, for being an awesome advocate for our students. I don't know where she is. She's probably doing something. There she is. Finally, I would like to thank the parents and families of our students for trusting us with your child for the past 5 years. You made a choice to come to CTEC, and in the fall of 2017, we only had 55 students. We continue to grow in that small, tiny basement in the College of Ed building, but thank you for giving us that opportunity to work with your kids and have your kids in our presence. Beginning into August of 2017, we opened our doors with the goal to expose our students to the teaching profession and offer them an amazing opportunity to earn free college credits. Many of our students have changed their career paths, but this has not diminished the success story of this group of students. They have achieved so many things over the past 5 years and set themselves up for an amazing future. The end seems so far away in August of 2017. We have blinked our eyes and the past 5 years have gone by quickly. You have blazed a trail on this campus that will live on for many years. Thank you for that commitment. In March 2020, our lives changed dramatically. No one could have seen the global pandemic when we began in 2017. I'm so proud of this group of students for adjusting to the uncertain times and making the most of a very challenging situation. Our fifth-year students were just finishing their sophomore year. Their first year of college courses was in a full remote learning environment. We all learned a great deal. As Frank Bruni, a New York Times journalist, recently noted, many of you have felt cheated for a good reason. But you know what? In crucial ways, you've got a better education because of it. You learn fate really does turn on a dime. You learn trouble comes, and when you least expect it, you can survive that trouble. You learn that there's one way of doing things. There's always ingenious alternatives. You can choose to take comfort and confidence that you have adjusted to the challenge and made the most of the situation. The trick to happiness, I've been amazed, is perseverance and resilience. Thank you for doing what it takes to get to this day. As I began to think about my message for today, I kept coming back to my favorite TV show on Apple TV, Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is an American football coach who was hired to lead an English Premier Soccer team, AFC Richmond. He was selected in hopes that the team would fail. But as we are still learning in season 3, Ted Lasso's approach to life has had a huge impact on his team. Ted Lasso provides 12 leadership life lessons that can serve us all moving forward. Many of these are simple and need no further explanation. Number 1, believe in yourself. Number 2, doing the right thing is never the wrong thing. Number 3, all people are different people. Number 4, see good things in others. Number 5, courage is about being willing to try. Number 6, vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Number 7, tell the truth. Number 8, winning is an attitude. Number 9, optimists do more. Number 10, stay teachable. Number 11, be a goldfish. If you do something wrong, don't let it define you. Forget about it like a goldfish within 10 seconds. And happiness is a choice. So please take these 12 leadership lessons with you moving forward. The world you're entering in 2023 is vastly different than the world I entered when I graduated in 1988. I challenge the CTEC class of 2023 to continue to begin the next phase of their lives with the end in mind. All of you have built a solid foundation of what is next. I look forward to watching you continue to accomplish your goals in life and impact those who are around you. Again, best of luck in your future endeavors, and as remember, be a goldfish and always believe in yourself. Before we begin awarding diplomas, I would like to present several special awards. Some of my admin team is going to join me. We've established several awards that recognize graduates. The first award is selfless in nature. I call it the Principal's Award. The awards on this award is presented to a CTEC senior who embodies joy, compassion, kindness, goodness, and self-control. When I think about this student, the first thing that comes to mind is goodness. This student has been a pleasure to be around for the past 5 years. He has a positive energy, can-do energy at all times. He has truly taken advantage of what CTEC has to offer. The Principal Award winner plans to attend UNC Greensboro in the fall. The first 2023 Principal's Award goes to Zachary Wilson. Succeeding in a 5-year high school program on campus of a major university takes perseverance. Webster's defines perseverance as steadfastness in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. The student being recognized has truly persevered through the 5 years of our program. He has earned 59 UNC Charlotte credit hours. He plans to attend North Carolina A&T State University. The Perseverance Award goes to Tariq Harris. For the past 6 years, Christiana Luce has been a rock for both of our early college programs. She has decided to retire from CMS in North Carolina on June 30th. Mrs. Luce has served CMS for over 28 years. She has been a math teacher, dean of students, and assistant principal. She has always kept the standard, the student's best interest, as her top priority. Although we will miss her, we wish her nothing but the best as she moves forward in the next phase of life. Mrs. Luce has some famous words she spoke each morning on the morning announcements. We heard each day, use your powers for good and stay in our focused, productive zone. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Luce on her retirement, and thanks for her service. I got something else. Hold on. Mrs. Luce and I met back in the year 2000 when I did my administrative internship, and she is still one of the best teachers I've been around in my 29 years in this business. She loves the profession and values the impact that teachers have on every day. The next award is the Future Teacher Award. Moving forward, this award will be now called the Christiana Luce Future Teacher Award to honor Ms. Luce's service to our program. CTEC was the vision of our former superintendent, Ann Clark, and Ella McIntyre, the former Cato College of Education. We opened our doors in 2017 to try and provide a pipeline to the teaching profession. The number of students entering the College of Education over the past 15 years has decreased significantly. We knew that some students might choose a different direction, but we wanted to make sure that teaching was our focus. One student entered our doors ready to be a teacher and embraced all aspects of our program. She has led the Future Teacher Club for the last 2 years. All of us at CTEC are hoping that she sticks with the teaching profession and continues to do great things. She has earned 70 hours of UNC Charlotte credit. She plans to attend North Carolina State University in the fall on the North Carolina Teaching Fellows Scholarship. The 2023 Christiana Luce Future Teacher Award goes to Tylen Deans. Finally, this afternoon, as we begin awarding diplomas, I would like to ask all family members and guests to show their respect for our graduates by limiting their cheers so that every graduate's name can be heard as they walk across the stage. We have the opportunity to establish this tradition, and I hope that you will follow this today. Once the names are announced, we will honor all our students. So class of 2023, please prepare to come on stage to receive your diploma.
Yvette Trinity Yersiah. Cassidy Amara Min. Fiona Nicole Gonchenko. Tracy Tan Bui. Hanny Apshire. Tierra Moniz Allen. Olivia Michelle Anyawu. Sanaya Ardra Boger. Constasia Anais Brooks. Madison Brown. Jackson Scott Calloway. Ava Mackenzie Davenport. Tylen Terrell Deans. Nicole Daphne Echeverria. Sharice Monet Evans. Ivani Jesanoa Figueroa Nunez. Memudala Rahonula Kidway. Layla Alinda Mansil Moore. Peyton Lila Danielle Markgraf. Kimberly Juliana Perez. Eden Morel Perry Benton. Alicia Renee Floyd. Jada Evelina Green. Madison Sloan Gregory. Tariq Marvin Harris. Amariana Zaira Hicks. Michaela Patrice Holloman. Kyla Michelle Hurdle. Onasia Stephanie Robinson. Janaya Darion Roseboro. Talea Rowe. Sophia Elizabeth Spangler. Swee. Trinae Sharice Taylor. Destiny Shantae Walker. Zachary Scott Wilson. Chloe Ryan Woods. Shannon Catherine Yara. Ethan Kyrie Young.
All right, will the class of 2023 please rise? By the authority vested in me as the principal of the Charlotte Teacher Early College High School in the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools Board of Education, I pronounce you graduates of the Charlotte Teacher Early College Class of 2023. You may now turn your tassel.